Okay guys, well here we have a motorcycle travel trunk from Sears, and this is actually the same one you can get from JC Whitney. So I already opened it up, but I put it back in the box just to show you how it was packaged so you can know what to expect. Right now Sears has these on sale for like 40 some bucks. I forget if it was 43 or 48, somewhere around there. And today is April 19th, 2010, so that should give you an idea of what it cost. Sounded like a good deal for 40 some bucks. Sears also had some deal where if you signed up for, there was a free shipping option too, so this really only costs, 40 some bucks. Anyway, the box is a little beat up, nothing big. I've kind of seen that before. The product is wrapped in bubble wrap, and actually it looks like it's in pretty good shape. All the way around, we have a red reflector here, a proper red reflector right here. Going towards the back, there's a backrest. Truth be told, it's not really any softer than the rest of the case, so something to keep in mind. But you know what? If you have a riding jacket on, it's probably going to have some padding behind it as well. So that might just be something to think about. And this right here, the area towards, I guess you could say, the front of the case, is an orangish type color. It's definitely much closer to red than orange, but it definitely has an orange tint to it. So if you're a real particular person, I don't know if that would bother you or not, you could always mask it off and just hit it with some Krylon Fusion or some other kind of spray paint that adheres to plastic. Comes with two keys right here. This button is to remove the trunk from the mounting plate. Let's see, this particular one, it's weird. The lock isn't damaged, but it definitely has a dent in it. Still works perfectly fine, so I'm not really worried about returning it or whatever. The latch opens up, and inside we have like a little elastic strap system, I guess you could say, so that you could tie some things down in here. Also, here's all the mounting parts. And the mounting parts, basically, they give you a set of very simple instructions. You're probably going to figure it out by yourself, truth be told. You get a metal mounting bracket, which actually seems pretty sturdy. It's made out of stamped steel. There's like a rubber, or more like a real dense foam here on the bottom to kind of protect it. And then also around the edges, there's like a rubber lip going around the perimeter so it won't scratch things up too bad. And I don't know if you can see that, but if you peel the foam back, which it comes right off, it's basically just made to sit there, there is this like rubber lip around here, so that should help things out a little. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4 little rubber stoppers right here, so the trunk, when it mounts on here, should be fairly secure, and overall looks pretty good. And then they also give you a packet of a couple rails and some bolts and nuts and washers. So I don't think I'm going to use these. I think I'm going to attach this to my bike a little differently, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay? Okay, so here's the bike, and here's the situation. We have the box sitting right up here on the top. Actually a great spot for it. The footprint of the mounting bracket matches almost exactly the footprint of the rack on the back. However, we lose a little bit of, see you, man, a little bit of seat space here, and cover up the toolbox. Okay, so here's the other flip side of what we can do. Bear with me for a second. We can mount this guy so we still have access to the toolbox once we take the top box off, but makes the box hang off the back a little bit, and actually it hangs off by about half, as you can see. Well, give or take. Yeah, it's about Nah. 2/3 at least. Here's what it looks like from the side. So you can see there's a little bit of a difference, but it looks like the passenger would have the whole back seat to sit on, and that might actually be a little more useful. Either way, I think I'm going to mount it backwards like this a little bit, just so I can get to the tools. You know, I could take the tools out and put them in the case, but for now, I think I'm just going to mount it like this. And you know what? If you don't like it, or if I don't like it, I'll just, you know, move it up and just re-drill some holes. You know, no big deal either way. So let's try it like this. Okay, next step. I'm going to take this plastic piece off of the rack by removing these 6 screws, and we're going to use this as a template to actually drill into this plate here. Alright, so basically it's going to look like that. The plate's going to hang off the back a little bit, and we're going to have one bolt going, and this is going to have to get lined up right here. Another one obviously here, and then we'll have another bolt going right here, and another one back here. And what I'm going to try and get at the hardware store is a couple big fender washers just to hold everything in place. So let's start taking this guy apart. Okay, so here we are. We have everything drilled, and this guy will fit on here. You can see where everything's drilled. See right there and such. This thing will fit on here, and we'll just get some longer bolts and bolt it right through, and that'll work. We'll be able to get to the tools and everything will be cool. I'm a little iffy about this right here, but it should work. However, I decided to take this whole thing in a different direction, because something I have, and something that isn't probably too common for somebody to have an extra one of, is this givey rack. And believe it or not, the pattern is exactly the same as far as the little latches and such on it, and it's a much more substantial rack. You can see this is just pressed steel, and this right here is aluminum, but it's much more heavy duty. So we're going to be mounting this up to the back, and we are going to put the box on the givey rack, and that should do it. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We have the givey mounting plate on here, which is much nicer. It fits somewhat, unfortunately, over the toolbox, over the toolkit, but there's a solution to that. The givey plate mounts using only 2 bolts, one underneath this plastic cover and one underneath this plastic cover. Okay, and they're Allen head, hex head bolts. So guess what's going in the box? One Allen key. In case you ever have to get in there, this would allow you to quickly take off this plate, get into the toolbox if you're ever in an emergency. But let's see how this thing fits on there. Should fit on pretty well. Go, and it's on. So that basically right there is the whole box. All right, it's pretty sturdy. Pretty sturdy. Lock looks good. Open it up inside. There we go. And we'll just tape that Allen key somewhere in the bottom or somewhere in the top. But yeah, it's great. You know, it'll hold a helmet. Just to prove that, let's go grab one. Let's take this one here. And I'll probably suggest putting it in a helmet bag so it doesn't get all scratched up and such. But here's a helmet. We'll put it on its side. Alright. Closes, locks in place, no problem. So, in essence, that's the whole deal. There's the Sears large size top box, or trunk as you might call it, on a 2005 KLR 650. Hope this helps somebody. No, it got a little unorthodox, but yeah, that was about it. So that's that. Take care.